What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Final Order Cutoff video. We have a lot of indie comics on this week's Final Order Cutoff coming on Monday, April 17th. So let's get into these. But if you're new here and aren't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button down below and join in on the fun that's going on this channel, talking about indie comics, talking to indie comic creators. So let's start out. Where I go for my source is the Previews World website. And on the Previews World website, you can navigate to Catalog Final Orders Due to see the entire list of comics that are on the cutoff this coming Monday. I start at the top and work my way down, so we're going to start off with one from Image Comics, which Image has a lot of things on cutoff this week that I had to cut out because I couldn't talk about everything this week. So I'm going to talk about one that I really love, and that is Stoneheart #3 from Emma Kubert. This is the third issue of Emma's newest ongoing creator-owned series, solely done by her, writing and art. And new friends come at a price. Shade Whisper is thrilled in her newfound friendship with the handsome Eldon Redwood. But with the ever-growing presence of the mysterious voice and powers, this friendship may be sending her in the wrong direction. This one coming out May 10th. Some of these are going to be May 10th. Some are May 17th or May 24th. It's a little bit of a range in release dates. I go all the way down then from there to the comics and graphics novel section for my next comic that I'm going to be talking about. Prior to that, there is a little bit on Boom. There's some trade paperbacks and Wind Volume 3's trade paperbacks coming out soon, or at least is on cutoff now. So lots of things in those other sections. So go to the website, check them all out. We're going to go down to one from Fair Square Comics. This one is Classified Secrets and Lies trade paperback. This one has 3 different stories collected together here. It's a triple threat, 3 spy thriller stories, 1 collection, modern pulp style. Collecting the first 2 stories published in 2022 in the Classified collection, plus a bonus tale. Get ready to jump on a ride full of revelations, treasons, and deceit. Opening the volume, Jaeger from a fan favorite creator Ibrahim Mustafa, a Cold War spy thriller pitting a newly appointed MI6 agent against a former Nazi who happens to be his torturer during World War II. Next up is Black Box, brought to you by Fabrice Sapolsky and the late Tom Lyle. This unique tale follows Yuli Troy, a historian working at the secret White House storage facility, who stumbles upon one of the most explosive secrets American presidents have managed to keep under wraps: a music box which stayed in the Oval Office for 200 years and recorded every conversation in the room, unbeknownst to any soul. Bonus, The Red Cedar, a Lebanon-based revenge vigilante story from Izzy Salhani and Kem Vural. Don't sleep on this one, or you may regret it. I have read one of these tales, The Black Box, and I absolutely loved it. It was fantastic. It had a good mix of spy, mystery, thriller, and interesting history brought into it, like real history brought into this fictional story. And I enjoy that good mix of history and fun spy thriller fiction. So that was a really great read. So I am excited to check out these other stories that are in this that I have not gotten to check out yet. This one coming from, like I said, Fair Square Comics. Fabrice Sapolsky is the creator of Fair Square Comics and publisher there. So also co-creator of Spider-Man Noir. So if you liked his stuff there and looking for some new stuff from Fabrice, that's the place to get it. Going down the list to another one on the comics and graphics novel section, we have Dead by Daylight #1. This is the prequel comic based on the best-selling horror game Dead by Daylight. This one coming from Titan Comics. Readers can unlock an exclusive in-game charm using the unique code found inside the comic when the rebellious Frank crashes into the lives of Julie, Joey, and Susie. Together, they'll unleash bloody chaos on the sleepy, dead-end town of Ormond. Witness the terrifying origins of the Legion. Cover A right here by Ivan Tao looks so good. I've played Dead by Daylight a little bit, not too much, but I have enjoyed it. So it is a very intriguing thing. Of course, if you're looking for a good story, I think it's going to be a good story. But if you're looking for A lot of people speculate on video game comics all the time now, and so this is a good investment, I think, in terms of that as well. But I don't know. I just buy stuff for the story. But everyone's been going crazy over video game comics when they come out, so there's that. But it's a 4-issue miniseries from Nadia Shamas and Dylan Snook, and I think it's going to be great. And I love Ivan's cover for this; just so good. Next up from Black Mask Studios, we've got Destiny New York. Uh, Here's the full title: Destiny New York. My girlfriend broke up with me, so now I run the Mystical Mafia. Pat Shand. This is his, I think, the third volume of Destiny New York from his Kickstarter releases, and it is a new #1 kickstart of Destiny New York over at the Black Mask Studios version of it. It's got such great art. Alyssa Rombali is the artist on this part. Pat Shand, of course, writing, and lyrics doing an amazing cover here with Lilith on it, and featuring Logan in the background. It's just a very cool composition on the cover. Lilith Aberdeen is the last surviving daughter of a mystical crime family. She has spent her whole life running from her past, but now those odd old demons are finally catching up to her. She thought she was meant to be with the former prophecy girl, Logan McBride. But life has pulled them apart now with Lilith in New York and Logan in California. Will destiny reunite them or drive them further apart? From writer Pat Shand and artist Alyssa Ramboli, this series will plunge you deep into the mystical world of Destiny New York, a world just like ours, except magic is commonplace. Next up, we've got Don't Spit in the Wind, #2 of 4 from Mad Cave Studios from Stefano Cardacelli. Since the Earth became inhospitable, a crew of garbage men has been tasked with cleaning up mountains of toxic waste. After descending deep inside a nuclear facility to search for a missing crew, Rodriguez and Boy find evidence that the crew has been killed by an unknown predator. Meanwhile, Travis is trying to survive his own encounter with a swarm of locusts. And then yeah, the cover is amazing. The art, Stefano's art is so good, and this has such a cool message involved in it with environmentalism. So I love that this comic's coming out, and I love everything about it. So if you missed #1, go get it. #2 on Cutoff. And speaking of things that are ongoing, we've got a new start for End After End. Volume 1 wrapped up this week with issue #6, but Volume 2 starting here with issue #7 from Tim Daniel and David Andre and Sunando C on the artwork. Haven Part 1. Walt Grink and Stills track a relic piece, part of an artifact they need to win the war, to Haven, a city protected by a magical shield. Walt finds a way in, but the city's leaders are unwilling to relinquish the powerful item. An unexpected ally will step forward to assist Walt, but dark forces inside Haven are already working against them. This is coming from Vault Comics, and I've loved every issue of this so far. We're going to have David Andre on the channel later this month, in about 2 weeks, to talk about this, to talk about his ongoing Kickstarter, Dead Blood. It's so much fun looking. I've gotten to read it. I thought it was a blast. I am so excited for more of it already, and it hasn't even come out with the first issue officially yet, but I loved it, and I think you all should go check it out. It's on Kickstarter right now. Dead Blood #1. Coming down the list for FOC Comics, we got one from Sumerian Comics here. It is Feeder, issue #1 from Mark Bertolini and Daryl Nicorem. Lee Kidd was the most famous action movie hero of the 80s, but he's fallen on hard times. With his life in a downward spiral, Kidd has become a shadow of his former self, turning to a life of crime as an enforcer for a local crime boss. But when he's given a new job, can he bring himself to complete it, or is he being given a chance to change his ways? Another new one from Sumerian that I'm looking forward to. Mark Bertolini writing this one has me excited to check it out. Not coming down the list, we've got Whatnot Publishing bringing us Griffin, issue #2 of 3 from Ben Kahn and Bruno Hidalgo. Griffin's crusade of terror against the fascist sovereign reach has ignited the Empire's wrath, and the fate of an entire planet hangs in the balance. Griffin and their crew's quest to save the planet and Sarah comes to a fiery climax as the ruthless Admiral Hunter joins the fray. What secrets do Griffin and Hunter share, and why is the Admiral willing to spill an ocean of blood just to see Griffin dead? If Griffin wants to prevent a genocide, it'll take daring, fringe science, and a little bit of being shot into the cold void of space. I loved issue number 1. Ben just putting together a fantastic story. I read the preview of it or something. I thought it was back here. It is not directly behind me right now. There it is. I got it from Ben at Baltimore Comic Con back in 2021, and I loved it. So when I heard that it was going to be being published, the full story in Whatnot here with really it was an extra length. I felt like issue number 1, altogether 3 issues, and a fantastic story so far about tyranny in the galaxy and taking down the tyrants. Relevant to today's world. So very fantastic story so far. Pick up a number 1 if you have not already. Speaking of number 1s, we've got a new one here from Fair Square Comics. This is Intertwined, the last Jewish daughter of Kai Feng. This is I believe, a continuation of the Intertwined story that they released in a trade paperback before, but it sounds like also a new jumping on point from Fabrice Sapolsky with art by Fei Chen and Ho Seng Hui. In time for Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, as well as Jewish American Heritage Month, fan favorite series Intertwined is back with a 64-page special dedicated to the only Asian Jewish character in comics, the new Spirit of Water. After the events of the original Intertwined series, Leah Tian's life has changed drastically. She's been dragged into Wan Jin's adventures with the spirits of Wu Jing against her will, and Lady Zia passed on the mantle of champion of the water element to her right before she was murdered. Now, Leah fights alongside the spirits of the earth, wood, fire, and metal to preserve the balance of the universe while fully living her Jewish faith. But her past has come back to haunt her. Why did she really leave Kai Feng in China? And what do Mob Lord Yuk Long want so much that he sent his goons all the way to Chinatown, New York to find her? Intertwined, the last Jewish daughter of Kai Feng is a fast-paced action-adventure tale dealing with the deep, real-life issues. The meaning of faith in a country that, at time, doesn't recognize Judaism as a religion. The condition of women in the early 1970s and freedom of choice. Brought to you by original creators Fabrice Sapolsky and Fred Pham Chuang, with art by new sensational artists Fei Chen and Ho Seng Hui, with colors by Walter Pereira. Featuring covers by the 2 creators, Fabrice and Fred Pham Chung, as well as praised artists Nick Bradshaw, Gerald Perel, Frank Uzan, and Will Torres. I love that first volume of it. I would grab it, but I don't think it's within reach as I'm filming, and I did not prep myself because why would I do that? But the pages, if you look at them on the Previews World catalog, look fantastic for this new art team. I'm excited because I love the first volume of Intertwined. I need to get Fabrice on here and talk about Intertwined and Fair Square Comics and everything that he's got going on, because it's exciting to see this representation in comics that the big 2 aren't putting out there, and indie comics is getting out there and really seeing it. And now we've got a Jewish superhero from Daniel Kalbin in American Dreams, and we got a Asian Jewish character here. I think they said the only Asian Jewish character or Asian Jewish superhero, wherever that was in here. But, new representation in comics. I love it. Coming down the list from Mad Cave Studios, we got Legacy of Violence, number 5 of 12. We are starting the new arc of A Legacy of Violence here from Colin Bunn and Andrea Moody. As the situation in a small village of Desante begins to calm down, everything for the doctors at Hospital Rotan are about to witness true terror. Meanwhile, Nick makes contact with an old mysterious man that brings even more confusion to Nick's already muddled past. Legacy of Violence is a 12-issue maxi series by the Masters of Horror, Colin Bunn and Andre Moody, with letters by Russ Wooten. This has been so cool. Volume 1 out already on shelf, so if you missed that first volume of Legacy of Violence and you want to go pick it up, you can get the trade paperback now. It collects the first 4 issues. Coming down the list, we got 2 more. One from Scout Comics, Omega Gang #1 from Matteo Rivosecchi and Niccolo Lalapi. Really brilliant cover here from Ludovico Serragati. And from what Scout said about this one is that it was the Breakfast Club meets Pokemon. And that has my attention. I did not see this in the catalog originally, but I think I am going to be adding it here at FOC because I want to check out what this is about. Gab, Luna, Adhem, and Amma are a group of friends who call themselves the Omega Gang as a way of expressing the hopelessness of their lives and their generation. It's the beginning of summer, and quite unexpectedly, they discover a set of mysterious eggs that shake them from their usual Gen Z depression. This is a big deal, and they'll have to figure out what to do with them soon. But are they going to be ready for what is about to emerge from those shells? So we got them finding these eggs. They're going to get some creatures hatching from these eggs. And it sounds like they're going to go on a Pokemon-like adventure. But we've got this crew here together that's a little bit like the Breakfast Club in nature. So I'm excited for seeing what this is about. I hope Scout will send out a advanced copy to check out. But I'm going to add it to my pull list for FOC, and I think you guys should check it out as well. Lastly on the list, alphabetically really, is how this is all happening. Soco, #2 here from Sumerian Comics from Vanya Miskovich and Steve Ekstrom. Art from Antonio Fuso and colors from Stefano Simeone. Stefano, I think, did the first 2 issues, and we got a new colorist in the last 2 issues. Cover A from Francesco Tomaselli. I have a review for issue #1 up on the website, so go check out that review because Soco #1 has not hit shelves yet, but it is on FOC this Monday. So Soco #1 hitting shelves next Wednesday on what is that, April 19th, and FOC unfortunately is this week for Soco #2, so it'll be 2 days prior to #1 hitting shelves. And so do check it out. Check out the review, see if you want it, and make sure you get orders for #2 prior to FOC because that helps stories so much if readership doesn't fall off a lot after issue #1, and when FOC dates don't align super well, issue #2 tends to drop off significantly. But if you're looking for a new crime story, here you go. Soco is a fantastic new crime series from Steve and Vanya, and art from Antonio Fuso. Like I said, Antonio doing the art on House of Slaughter right now, has done art on Weird from Dark Horse, and the art on Stargazer from Mad Cave. So really fantastic artist putting out a lot of cool things, and this book is no exception to that. Corruption from within a Serbian police department begins to destroy a cop's relationship with his partner as a local gangster's human trafficking operation is revealed. Boom Studios publisher Ross Ritchie calls Soco a well-illustrated police procedural. This one releasing May 17th. Like I said, it'll be April 19th that we get issue #1 hitting shelves. And that wraps up our large FOC. This is a longer video than normal, of course. Normally I'm in that 10 to 15 minute range for FOC, sometimes shorter if it's a light one, but there were too many good books to not talk about that I had to make sure all of these were included on here. So longer one, apologize for that, but I hope you checked out the whole video, and if you've made it here and aren't subscribed, go hit that subscribe button down below, hit the notification bell so you know when we're dropping new content. Like the video, drop a comment, let me know what are you looking forward to from this list. Anything, all of them. Do you have something that I missed on here? I know there were some fantastic books from Image that I didn't get to talk about, but I think they get a little bit more exposure than some of these that I mentioned today. So hopefully you've seen those as well. Go check out the Previews World website and see what all is on that list. And as always, collect what you love. See you next time.